I named this the Mod Wars because it took like 3 days of trial and error to get these mods to work. And I still have some freezing issues, but not much. Before it was just crash your desktop, crash your desktop.
War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
What's up, Warp Wheel?
You're awake. How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name? I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Good Springs. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place. How'd I do?
Look like Count Derpington. No. Oh no. Help me get shot in the dark. What's with that weird line across the back of his head? Is that where the doctor fucking cut open your brain? I guess. Facial hair? No.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore. Let's see if we can get you on your feet. Good. Why don't you walk down to the end of the road? Over by that vigor tester machine there. Take it slow now. It ain't a race.
I was thinking of playing hardcore mode, but I played that while I was messing around with the mods, and the only difference I found was the
Looking good so far.
my spurs.
Go ahead and give the vigor tester a try.
The only difference I
You'll
noticed
learn right quick if you got back all your faculties.
was that I had to eat, drink, and sleep on a regular basis. That's the only thing I noticed. Ooh, that's not really... Strength needs to go up. Yeah, having to drink and eat and sleep. Yeah, it's realistic, but it's not very entertaining. Also, when you get your fucking limb blown off, you have to go back to a doctor or have a doctor bag. You can't just use a stim pack to fix that shit. Oh, it's the devil!
Yeah, that's a pretty standard score there, but after what you've been through, I'd say that's great news. Well, we know your vitals are good, but that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered in the bighorn and dropping. What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking. All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Dinner.
House. Night. Enemy. Light. Mother. Okay, now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say. First one, conflict just ain't in my nature. I ain't given to relying on others for support. I'm always fixin' to be the center of attention. I'm slow to embrace new ideas. I charge in to deal with my problems head on. Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this? Tell me what you see. Okay. How about this one? Last one.
How do you get a mushroom cloud out of that? I guess this part? Let's go with that.
Well, that's all she wrote. I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results.
Nothing to compare
See
it
if
to.
it all seems right to you.
What the fuck? You just trying to see if I thought the same thing as you?
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head. That's a pretty good one. Yeah. All right, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
I'm robbing your house, Doc. Hopes I have a light.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to be now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you.
No shit, I just did that.
And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. Never was much my style anyway. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do hardcore mode. I was at first, but after messing around with it, I decided it wasn't that great. A World of Pain emergency starter box. Choose your loadout. You may only choose once. What do you think, Warped Wheel? I think a soldier, probably. A repairman, maybe. I'm not sure what all of these do. I'll go with soldier, I think. Yeah, G.I. Joe. And everybody in the wasteland is Charlie. I'm wearing those. My lucky spurs. Wonder what happened to my... That's weird. I had a thing that did the boxes, and it just hasn't caught up. They did the boxes like Fallout 4, where you could just see what's in it instead of opening. Yes, spurs and assless chaps. Yes, I'm stealing your shit, Doc. Like that, right there. Yeah. Hiding his shotgun under the sink. Or, not the sink, the bathtub. That thing! Smokes. No. In there. Yeah, I'm still raiding your house. Dagnabbit, the little motherfucker saved his life and he goes and robs all my weapons. Yeah, maybe the Fallout 4 menu thing hasn't caught up, or maybe I gotta reactivate the choice in the menu bar at the beginning, the data thingy. Taking that. Optimum. Why would I need that? Ophthalmoscope? What the fuck is that again? I don't remember. But I don't remember why I would need it either. Reading glasses. Do I want my guy to be wearing reading glasses? Honestly, if they're even... Are they useful? No. That's useful. Let's make some drugs. Time is it? Don't freeze. Be really annoying. There it goes. All those mods make really long load times. There's that Fallout 4.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. my time. I was talking about in-game.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need. I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were, so I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Yeah, you dug me up because you like playing with dead people.
Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that. I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any. I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
Don't tell them you say howdy with a rocket launcher.
Happy trails!
Oh shit. Fickin' ring.
How are you? Hey there, Wanderer. Care to hear a... Wait, I know you. You're the courier, aren't you? By the glow, I can't believe it's you. Standing here, next to me. I don't want to sound too forward. I mean, we just met. But, well, I'm a huge fan. It would be my honor to help document your travels. You see, I'm a storyteller by trade. And a story like yours is rare to come by. What do you say? Great. Got loads of stories for you, but I'll try to keep my mouth shut. I'll try.
Hey.
Better save. This is my quick save key again. 20 minutes. Manual save hotkey F4. Let's use that.
Welcome back, children. You're listening to Galaxy News Radio, the heart and soul of the Capitol for over 10 years.
Uh-huh. Easy Pete and some no-talking vigilantes.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
Sure, let's go fuck around in the rain. First, Gold-plated gun, yeah. This guy, he's taking a shit in his power armor or what? Bam! That gun's badass, but I don't have a lot of bullets.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them.
Varmint rifle. Oops, it automatically loaded.
That's the right idea. Look down the sight. Try crouching down and staying still. It'll help your aim. Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along? Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
What time is it? Alright.
You're listening to Three Dogs. Ow! Wow, wow, on Galaxy News Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. More news for you. Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. That's the news. This is Mr. New Vegas filling in for Mr. New Vegas. In New Vegas, we know the pain that numbers can bring us. Well, so does Guy Mitchell, who's got heartaches by the number.
Do, 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 do.
Hear that up on the ridge behind me there? We got some geckos to clear out. Bunch of little monsters is what they are. Seems like Doc Mitchell treats more... Let's see if we can get a little closer. If we move quietly. Okay, you're on. Go give him hell.
I never knew I could hurt this way. And heartache number 2 was when you came back. You came back but never meant to stay. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the number. Every day you love me, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few caps to me. Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with 2 of us. Come with me.
heartache number 3 was when you called me and said that you were coming back to stay. With hopeful heart I waited for you, not long ago. I waited, but you must have lost your way. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more.
Bam! You're toast.
gentlemen, this is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. And now the news. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was in pain. Also, word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said,
Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, you should have what I got. You look thirsty.
It's a sin to tell alone.
She got jacked up.
When you say I love you.
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about living off the land and making useful things for yourself. Interested? Alright then. We'll need a couple ingredients to get started. Gonna want some xander root and a brock flower. Let me think now. I know I've seen brock flowers growing up at the graveyard, and I seem to remember there being xander root over by the schoolhouse. Bring those on back to me, and we'll get cooking. Thank you.
So be sure it's true when you say I love you. And I rodeoed around. I never once thought of settling down. But darling, the moment I laid eyes on you, I knew my rambling days were through.
Made up my mind a long time ago. When the right man came along, somehow I'd know. Heart is true, eyes are blue, and a smile that's wide as the western sky. Let's ride into the sunset together. Stirrup to stirrup, side by side. When the day is through, I'll be here with you. Into the sunset we will ride. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. I'll be your cowgirl, you'll be my cowboy.
You'll be my dare, I'll be your roar.
When the day is done, homeward we'll be wending. like a movie with a happy ending. Let's ride into the sunset together. Stirrup to stirrup, side by side. When the day is through, I'll be here with you. Into the sunset we
I mean, he's more than a varmint rifle.
What is it? Death claws?
Not yet.
Sure. That's a good question. To get to the heart of the answer, you have to go back to the beginning. It all started. Oh, not interested anymore? Sure. Nowhere in particular, but I have been everywhere. Collecting stories, mostly. Knowledge is power, they say. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress, even in society, even one like ours. Sure. I'd like to find a book that isn't burnt or rotted. That, or just wander around aimlessly. I hear you're a fan of that, too. Sure.
Whoa, hold on there. It's true. I've got a lot of stories to tell. There's got to be a little quid pro quo in the matter.
It's part of Project Nevada, I think.
Where, in return for a story, you give me something in exchange. A story for a story. Well, that's a shame. Luckily, there are plenty more stories out there, just waiting to be discovered. If you can find me some old books from before the war, I'd be more than happy to share a story or two. Sadly, most of the books written before the war are charred to a crisp, or otherwise illegible. But if you can find me the good ones, I'd be mighty grateful.
You let the blues move in now, I'm moving out. I'm digging it.
Seriously?
Your story ends here. Let's get 'em.
What's the use of buying a car if you won't buy gasoline? Used to be 200 miles and take it on the green. I don't know where we
Limb damage from a cockroach.
where the fly
You fucking kidding me?
like dough that's been spent. Now there's no use crying. Tell me where can I go? East or west or north or new south. You let the blues move in, now I'm moving out. You let the blues move in, now I'm moving out.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
Good, because I got some stuff.
Howdy, folks. It's Mr. New Vegas, and I have a good feeling about all of you listening. Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. In other news, word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. Today's headlines were brought to you by Prem, the other New Vegas. And now, Nat King Cole reminding us what really matters with Love Me As Though There Were No Tomorrow. Because in New Vegas, hey, you never know.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling.
Know thy enemy.
Love me.
This guy. Know thy enemy. He does not like bugs.
Know thy enemy.
Gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. We've got some news for you coming right up. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. Also in the headlines, unconfirmed reports say NCR General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. Those were our top stories. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
You hear that little blink, blink? That's mod lag, I think. Bugfesta.
If you're looking for supplies, chat over at the general store can help you out.
Nah, that's alright.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. Well, you know what that means.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. The way I heard it, I didn't think you'd be walking out of that office. I've got plenty of supplies for sale. Even got some weapon mods and special ammo. Well worth the caps if you ask me. If you're hurting for caps, I've also got boxes of surplus ammo in the miscellaneous section. They're not great, but you get what you pay for. The Great Khans normally stay in their own territory way up northwest, on account of them being enemies with the NCR. Can do.
Well, that's all I have for you. This is Mr. New Vegas, wishing you like luck tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
out freer the stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry men that tried before a day. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
Another satisfied customer. It's all about weapon mods are things like special ammo. There's also hollow point bullets, which have the opposite effect.
Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome
Twice.
ranger was
Both times I drank a lot of liquor and lost most of my caps at the card tables. In that order, now that I think about it. If you ever get to New Vegas, be sure to visit Gomorrah. It's the best casino in the city. You won't regret it. Word of advice, behave. Can do.
Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped, and the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. Big iron, when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip.
Another satisfied customer. Take it easy now.
Be right back. I gotta go take a piss.
That lone star from 1,000 miles takes me back home, though I've been
Back
too
again.
far astray. When I see that beacon shining for me all alone, it calls me back to Texas and to home. Lone star shining down on my hometown till my memory flies my way. In the old corral, the open range all round, sunlight and the smell of new mown hay. I remember though I've wandered and much happiness I've found, still I wish that I could be back there today. I know my home is waiting.
The grenade symbol down there is also part of the Nevada project. I can cycle through my throwables. There.
Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead.
Welcome back, children. You're listening to Galaxy News Radio, the heart and soul of the Capitol.
Now was in Arizona, he came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he said it didn't matter that he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. Men tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip.
They tried to bury me.
The ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play.
Yeah, listening to Three Dogs. Wow, on Galaxy News Radio, the #1 radio station
That's coming
in the
from
metropolitan area. Actually, the only radio
And the Ranger's aim was
station
deadly with the big iron on his hip.
people lived in
Big iron on his
with the
hip.
violin. Wah, wah, wah.
It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
How's it look like?
Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
Be sure it's true when you say I love.
Something over there.
It's a sin to
That's that prison. There's that.
Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I love you.
I should probably give him his laser pistol back.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. Oh, you got sense enough to know it's a sin to tell a lie. Whole lot of folks' heart is done been broken. Just over a whole lot of foolish words that's been spoken.
So I know I have Wheel watching. Who else is watching with us?
I love. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin.
The abandoned shack is now my shack.
You look extraordinarily beautiful right now. All the latest news coming your way right now. The Cigar Correctional Facility is now under prisoner control following a successful riot. Locals should avoid anyone who looks like they've done time. In other news, refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lannius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. When refugees told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered 1/10 of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pig. Stay classy, New Vegas. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
fuck? I know I picked it up.
that lone star from 1,000 miles away, calling me back home, though I ventured far astray. When I see that beacon shining for me all alone, it calls me back to Texas. Welcome me once more. In dreams I see them now, though it seems I'm bound to roam. My thoughts are still of Texas and of home.
back out? I think it is. Yeah, that's back out.
Cattle in the old corral, the open range all round, sunlight and the smell of new mown hay. I remember, though I've wandered and much happiness I've found, still I wish that I could be back there today. I know my home is waiting for me by the river shore. I know that all the ones I love would welcome me once more. In dreams I see them now, though it seems I'm bound to roam. My thoughts are still a
To the town of our field rode a stranger one fine day. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona, Ranger wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet barely ripped, and the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round.
Fuck. Good thing I saved. Get this thing turned on again. I wonder if it's the syncing. Do. I'll have to check that out after the live stream. 10%, 14. Hurry up, motherfucker. Annoying! Episode 1, Battle of the Mods. The Mod Wars. Oh, the joys of 32-bit games that never got updated by their developers and they just continued on. Brought to you by the people that made, what was it, Fallout 76 instead of fixing classics like this, which people actually like. We'll just leave that to the modders. Yes. I gotta admit though, these mods are really good. They look nice. They work nice. The game, not so much nice. But it's still fun to play. I guess that's why we go through this. Because we like the game. But I do have Fallout 4, so after this one gets completed, hopefully I can work out the kinks, because this is just ridiculous. But after this is completed, will be Fallout 4. And that is a fresh new hell. Because from what I understand, it works fine, it mods fine, but every time they update, all your mods take a shit. But it's a good game. Doop, 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 doop. It's almost done syncing. 96% done, yay! Get back to the fucking live stream and quit yapping. Do do. Oh, not responding. Oh fuck. Let's give it a second. Ow. Okay, I hear music. I don't know what you guys see, but I hear music. I got a black screen. Oh, there it goes. Finally. Yay! Yes, that's my real voice. I seem to remember reading something. Not him. Not, no. No. Right mouse button, motherfucker. I seem to remember reading something saying that the ongoing sinking can cause crashes. If you know anything about it, put it in the chat or put it in the comments of the video after you watch it, if you're watching it afterwards. I do ask around a lot about that.
I would like to settle down. Wide open space, wings on my face.
Old 40 will survive! It's full of fucking geckos.
Welcome back to the program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I hope I'm not coming on too strong. Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Moving on. Tensions are brewing at Freeside between the ruling gang known as the Kings and the large number of NCR squatters seeking refuge there. The leader of the Kings, who would only identify himself as the King, voiced his displeasure, calling NCR citizen squad the devil in disguise. He added he didn't want to see the NCR in the ghetto and called for a mass vote. Return to sender. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. Yes, baby. Crosby reminding us of those times when you absolutely had.
What is it? Death claws?
None at the moment.
Let's see here. No luck, I'm afraid. The pages have been damaged and charred, likely by exposure to a nuclear detonation. Another unnamed victim of the nuclear holocaust. Like America, you're only the remains of your former self. I think I might cry. That said, I have a creaky table with one leg significantly shorter than the other. This charred tome might still find a purpose. See you later.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's ride into the sunset together. Stirrup to stirrup, side by side. When the day is through, I'll be here with you. Into the sunset we will rise. Yodelay,
Something's going on. My weapon list and shit is way too small.
I'll be your cowgirl, you'll be my cowboy.
You'll be my dad. I'll be your Roy. When the day
Am I overweight? Yeah, by a bit.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
So look at that.
Let's ride into the sunset together. Stirrup to stirrup, side by side. When the day is through, I'll be here with you.
Maybe I should wear that.
Into the sunset we will ride.
So apparently the face wrap
I'm
armor
sworn to carry your burdens.
is enough for people to think I'm part of the NCR, which is a no-no. No.
Play it again, my Johnny.
It's my hat.
Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm inside. I was always a fool for my Johnny, for the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar. What if you go? What if you stay? I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind. I There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar.
That's weird.
In addition, NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when technical difficulties with its monorail line to the New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told us a serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
Right in the gray ball. A Metro. I didn't sell a Metro on accident, did I? No, it's a duplicate right here. Let's try that out. Okay, enough of that. fucking, let's worship a nuclear bomb! Guys. The children of Adam.
The tongue is mightier. Ammo!
Get out of here and give me some money too. You. Fuck. MP Rex. MP 412 Rex. Interesting. Cannot be modified. Okay. Oh, little laggy. Little laggy. See a drive-in over there. Am I still following that same quest? Yeah. Tempted to go over there, but I'm not gonna do it because I'll get distracted. There she is. Wonder how long she's been sitting out here.
Let me see what you got. Yeah, these'll do just fine. Just fine. Alright now, we're gonna be making something folks on the trail call healing powder. Go on over to that campfire now. Give it a try. Hey, that's not bad, see? All it takes to make a recipe is the right ingredients and the right know-how. Sometimes it won't be a campfire you need. Might need to do some work on your guns and ammo, maybe. Important thing to get is it's all the same idea. You just need to find the right place to set up shop. Workbench or reloading bench, whatever. Well, I hope that's enough to get you started. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never forgive me. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
Mm-hmm. Hey, go take a piss again. Fucking cheap beer.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. New Vegas here. You're all so great, and we're gonna keep you listening all day. All the latest news coming your way right now. The death toll continues to climb around Camp Forlorn Hope, where Legion raiding parties are still chipping away at the NCR's hold south of the dam. In other news, patrons of the Ultralux are questioning whether its pricey restaurant, the Gourmand, is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. And that's the news.
Back again.
Got a song for you now. It's about a guy who's cold on the exterior, but deep down, you know, he's a good man. And his name is Johnny Guitar.
Hello? Can you help me?
Play the guitar.
My girl is trapped by geckos on the ridge, and I can't get to her. Please, she's going to die. Go up the path, past the broken radio tower, and go to the right. They're at the top of the trail. You will? Thank you.
Only problem with first... Yeah, you're so worried, dick. Only problem with first starting a game, there's a lot of fucking dialogue.
Johnny Guitar, play it again. Johnny Guitar.
And in this game, it's pretty dialogue thick, so at times it can be kind of boring, or not very action-packed, I should say.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. We've got some news for you coming right up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Citizens of Outer Vegas are flocking to the Strip in droves amid a wave of terror caused by a band of raiders known as the Fiends. Those who can afford passports are saying the added security is well worth the price of admission. In other news, refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. This program was brought to you by Gamora. Gamora. It'll be our secret. You know, sometimes the journey beats the destination.
Sorry I tricked you, but thanks for clearing out the geckos. Now I can get to that stash up.
On the way.
Hey!
Jingle, jangle, jingle.
As I go
riding merrily along. Sing, glad you're singing. The song is very far from home. Bell, little bell.
though I may have done so full, and this is why I never fell. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily along. Jingle, jangle, they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle, and that song ain't so very far from wrong.
Something wrong with that generator. As my horrible singing scared them off.
place, you have. It's just about time to get you some news. Caesar's Legion continues to fortify its position in Nelson, where it remains a constant concern for Camp Forlorn Hope and the nearby town of Novak. In addition, word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. Today's headlines were brought to you by Prem. Prem, the other New Vegas. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs.
Silent Bob. Huge mutants. Whoa, watch out. Oh, I killed the ball already. No, don't touch that. Oh no, shit, I was selling him my stuff. Please. No. No. Don't do that.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me say a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart.
Where did those other ones go then? I just bought. Woohoo! Oh, it's a kit. It's not the actual thing.
I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And
like the monkey.
The moon had turned to gold.
I'll go shoot some mutated stuff.
Here are our top stories. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge.
No, do not touch that.
If you should find it, do not. Repeat, do not.
Don't touch that.
Super mutant for taking the bunny slope. Moving on. NCR officials at Camp McCarran were
Rex playing with my computer. The tower part, pushing buttons.
The New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told
What do you need?
serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because
Later.
of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. These headlines were brought to you by Vault 21. Vault 21. Everything's better when you experience it in a vault. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
But
that in mind. Now, if you're not gonna buy something, get out. Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon. Not much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor, by accident, and it hasn't been working since. They were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back. That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know. I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up. Sure, the outside looks okay, but I think something broke on the inside. There'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world, and that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman. Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him. Cobb hasn't exactly been looking for Ringo too hard. I think he's afraid that Ringo will ambush him, which is probably true. Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the powder gangers with him. Chain gangs, really. The NCR brought them in from California to work on the rail lines. Problem is, it turns out that giving convicts a bunch of dynamite and blasting powder isn't the best idea. It was a big escape not too long ago. Some of them stuck together so they could make trouble. That's what we're dealing with now. He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill. Alright. If you were able to get Ringo out of this mess, you'd have a decent reputation around Goodsprings. I'd even set you up with a discount. Of course, helping Ringo would also make the powder gangers mad, and they've got a lot of friends out there.
Listen to a sweet lullaby. Sleep softly, sleep.
I know that thing as much as anyone else around here. It mostly keeps to itself, which is just fine by me. Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything useful as far as I can tell. I don't know why it took an interest in you, but I'd be careful. It's never helped anyone before. It was here when I took over the saloon 7 years ago. Some people have said its owner lived here, but no one knows who it was. It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. I find it all very creepy. Fine by me. There's always something interesting going on, but the biggest news has to be the coming dust-up between the NCR and the Legion over the dam. Slavers, killers, and all other kinds of trouble. They dress up like Roman soldiers, so there's no mistaking it when you see them. The rumor is that the Legion is far larger than the NCR lets on, and that it's been due to luck that the Legion hasn't overrun the territory. The new California Republic's got the most power in Nevada. Money, troops, you name it. They do what they can to keep things safe in the region. But if you ask me, they're trying to do too much. They're spread too thin. Mostly traders looking to buy bighorn or meat and hides. The traders are the main reason the general store manages to stay in business.
Stop touching the mic. No, hey! What did I just say? Go over there. Go over there. Go watch your manga.
Gentlemen, Mr. New Vegas here. You're all so great, and we're gonna keep you listening all day. Well, you know what that means.
I'm pretty sure the NCR wants to hold on to the dam because it's one of the few places around that can make electricity. The Legion are a bunch of savages, though. No idea why they'd want the dam. Probably plan on destroying it or something. Be careful out there.
Admission. In addition, troubling news from Prim as merchants report a large presence of armed, unsavory figures patrolling the town. Residents are nowhere to be found. You know they...
Feeling thirsty? I can take care of it. Yeah, I heard it turn right back on after you got done tinkering with it. Here's some caps for the work. Not at all. I'm never sure how much is normally charged for this sort of thing. Here's some additional caps. That should be enough. Now, how about spending some of those caps in the saloon? Got a special discount for you after what you've done for us. Thanks. Be careful out there.
So I'm gone. Who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard. Those lips I adore.
Yep, it's a rat storm. No, stay away.
Sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Welcome back. Sure, I can help. Okay. All done.
Hey, no. Debug. I don't know what the hell happened there.
What is it? Death Claws?
It's Solo's story time.
Let's see here. No luck, I'm afraid. If they were on the plus side. Let's see here. By the glow, yes. Between these damaged pages is a tale complete and intact. Yup, pre-war printing too stubborn to be dislodged by the sands of time. Thank you for this gift, friend. I'll stick by our deal and give you a tale of my own in exchange. I think I have just the story in mind. Would you like me to tell you the story now, or should we save it? The future of the Mojave is yet to be decided, but back west, the future of California was decided long ago. Every tribe and settlement was brought into an alliance known as the New California Republic. However, the Republic's ascent to the preeminent power of the West was by no means guaranteed. Right from their humble origins in Vault 15, their progressive ideas and philosophies were opposed by a group that valued strength and guile above intelligence and democracy. Upon their exile from the Vault, these groups parted. One eventually became the New California Republic. The other adopted the title of a notorious warlord from before the war. Today, they are known as the Great Khans. Would you like to hear their story? Very well.
At night, the wasteland is dotted with towns that light up the darkness. Each one is some settler's attempt at rebuilding civilization. The wasteland holds endless wonders and mysteries. You'll never see them from within the walls of one village. Life on the road doesn't leave time for growing crops or herding Brahmin, so some people survive by taking what they need. Such predatory behavior is hardly commendable, but it does take strength to live the life of a raider, and who doesn't respect strength? Every few miles, there's some new group of raiders on the prowl, always certain that their strength gives them the right to prey on the weak. And every damned one of them has a theatrical name and flamboyant heraldry. The Fiends, the Jackals, the Yakuza. Every pack of chem addicts that stumbles across a history book just decides to play dress-up and terrorize the nearest village. Fortunately, most raider gangs don't last long. Entire groups can be exterminated in one fight gone wrong, or the whole lot can overdose on a batch of Med-X that's been cut too pure. But a few of the raider gangs have managed to stick around for generation after generation, and the most resilient by far is the Khans. A long time ago, many years before even the Great War, there was a place called Mongolia, home of the Khans, some of the toughest warriors the world had ever seen. They were led by a man called Genghis, and under his rule they came closer to conquering the world than anyone else. Even 1,000 years later, people still know the name. The Khans of the modern wasteland aren't actually descendants of the originals from Mongolia. They came out of Vault 15 and 2121, along with a few other raider gangs, the people who founded the village of Shady Sands. The folks that settled down in Shady Sands couldn't wait to start rebuilding civilization, but the rest, they took a liking to the wasteland just as it was. Some of those survivors from Vault 15 formed a gang called the Vipers, a band of kooks that worship snakes. They'll be remembered in the holotapes because one of them managed to kill the High Elder of the Brotherhood of Steel a century ago. But the Vipers are nothing compared to the most infamous raider gang that came from Vault 15, the Khans. The Khans value strength above all other qualities. When that vault opened, they knew that the world had become a place where the strong would thrive while the weak became prey. For years, they ranged through the remains of Arizona and California, stealing what they could carry, raising anything left behind. Under the leadership of a man called Death Hand, they thrived in an age where other bands barely managed to survive at all. In time, Death Hand grew old, his body covered in scars from a lifetime of battle. Even then, there was only one person who had the might to best him in a fair fight, his own son, Garl. The Khans would only accept leadership from the greatest warrior among them. There is no truer test of a person's strength than a fight to the death. Garl killed his own father for the right to lead the Khans, and took the title of Death Hand as his own. He led the Khans in their raids against Shady Sands and other towns in New California for years afterwards. Many settlers considered him nothing more than a bullying, low-life brute, but others suspected that Garl Death Hand was merely seeking a worthy foe. If Garl had played his cards right, he might have lived long enough to have a son of his own and one day pass on the title of Death Hand, but before he could produce an heir, he met his end. In 2162, Garl and his gang had kidnapped a girl from Shady Sands. She turned out to be the mayor's daughter, Tandy. That was a step too far for the people of Shady Sands, and it wasn't long before some do-gooder in a Vault 13 jumpsuit showed up at the primary Khan's camp demanding that Garl release her. The legend of the Vault Dweller had just begun, and the Khans couldn't have known just what they were up against. But Garl had finally found a true equal to face in combat. The Khans were hardly the greatest threat that the Vault Dweller had to deal with, and they weren't even mentioned in the Dweller's memoir. Once a damsel in distress, Tandy went on to become president of the new California Republic, where she turned the NCR into a powerhouse that cons could never hope to match. Only one con managed to survive the camp massacre, a boy named Darian, who hid during the ruckus. Darian spent the rest of his life trying to atone for his act of cowardice, created a gang called the New Cons, and spent 80 years harassing Tandy and the people of her new California Republic. What Darian lacked in courage, he made up for in leadership. His new cons were a bunch of real bruisers, maybe even tougher than the gang from the old Death Hand days. These new cons were such terrors that they even took control of Vault 15, right under the NCR's nose. Tandy couldn't let that stand, so she sent an operative to deal with the new cons. That operative just happened to be a direct descendant of the Vault Dweller who had slaughtered the original cons. The old bird probably got a laugh at that. By that time, Darian was a half-crazed old man, but he went down with a hell of a good fight. The Vault 15 security system recorded his final battle, and he would have made Garl Deathhand proud. Even though Darian was dead, the cons lived on. A handful of raiders away from Garl's camp survived and carried the legacy of the cons with them. The largest group lived away on the fringes of the NCR under Papa Con, called the Great Cons to honor their illustrious heritage. In 2267, Papa led them east where they discovered the ruins of Vegas. That was years before Robert House had unleashed his army of robots. The Great Cons found a home among the hardened tribals that inhabited Vegas back then. There the cons could test their mettle against the other warriors. They wouldn't have to worry about the Vault Dweller's great-grandkid showing up to kill them all. The Great Cons had a few good years there, until Mr. House decided to send out his Securitron army and civilize the inhabitants of his town. About the same time, the NCR had begun to spread east into Nevada, too. The Great Cons know more than anyone that annihilation is an ever-present threat in the wasteland. They suddenly faced a war against two armies, so they chose to abandon Vegas rather than tempt fate. Outside of Vegas, they were of little interest to House, but they still fought NCR troops at every opportunity. The new California Republic had grown increasingly ruthless in its efforts to acquire new territory. There are those in the Mojave who saw the Great Cons as victims of NCR hegemony. The two groups had been enemies for generations, and their battles were fought with little mercy from either side. The NCR eventually won a decisive victory, though, the Battle of Bitter Springs, although most people around the Mojave call it the Bitter Springs Massacre. Bitter Springs was identified by NCR Intel as the Cons' base of operation. The NCR cornered the Great Cons and invaded the camp. That's when the cons started evacuating the camp down a nearby canyon. First Recon troops stationed there opened fire and killed most of the gang. They thought they were shooting raiders flanking their troops. They ended up killing women and children, old folks too. Almost anyone who was at Bitter Springs has a different account of what happened. It might have been a mistake, some miscommunication between the NCR commanders, or bad reconnaissance of the site. Or it could have been a deliberate act of genocide. More than a few NCR troops just walked away from the army after that. Even if the massacre can be blamed on bad intel, the soldiers who pulled the trigger still had to hold themselves accountable for their own actions. Some of them have taken jobs as mercenaries protecting towns in the Mojave. Get them drunk enough and they might talk about what they did at Bitter Springs. But most of them are drinking just so they can forget. The cons, of course, can never forget Bitter Springs. The massacre left the Great Cons of broken people. The ones that survived limped away to the west, way out in Red Rock Canyon. There, the Great Cons are out of the way of the NCR and New Vegas. They lack the brute force and numbers to survive as raiders like in the old days. And now they make a living by manufacturing chems and selling them to other raider gangs. Papa Con is aware of just how far his people have fallen, and the NCR bears the full weight of his wrath. He has even accepted envoys from Caesar in the hope that joining the Legion will allow him some final act of revenge against the NCR in the coming war. A fool's hope, but that might be all that the once Great Cons have left.
It's me again, Mr. New Vegas, reminding you that you're nobody till somebody loves you, and that somebody is me. I love you. It's just about time to get you some news. NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when technical difficulties with its monorail line to the New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told us a serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. One
storyteller
more
from
story for you.
Shoddycast.
The death toll continues to climb around
They have a
Camp
YouTube channel where he
Forlorn
tells
Hope,
all
where
his stories.
Legion raiding parties are still chipping away at the NCR's hold south of the dam.
But
That's
I
the
need to sign
news.
off.
This is Mr. New Vegas filling in for
It's late,
Mr. New Vegas.
and
More
this is
classics
taking
coming right
forever
up for you,
to
so
get
stay
through all
tuned.
this. So I think next time I'll start earlier. End the night with a bedtime story there about the cons, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Like I said, if you know anything about that random crash, like with the sink or something like that, leave it in the comments, and I'll try to implement that and see if it helps. Do a good save.
It was early in the morning when he rode into the town.
And yay, I look like old Quit Clint Eastwood. Alright, have a good night, or a good day, or a good morning. I'll see you next time.